All right. Ask us questions. Ask us questions. Let's go. Here we go. Popping it in. Pin the comment. Pin the comment. Hold on. Hold on. Let's find Marian. Where's Marian? Oh, I don't see him yet. Where's Marian? Marian. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. There he is. I see him. All right. Here he is. Here he is. Marian Asanu coming in the house. Welcome, welcome.
And
there
we're
we
back.
Go. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, so format, guys. I'm playing games of League of Legends. You ask questions. Marian picks them. He answers them. I answer them. Move on to the next one. We were finishing our last one talking about self-publishing. And so super quick before we get to the new questions. I think it depends on your goals. So I self-published 2, and I published with a publisher 2. My latest one is with a publisher. Pros and cons. 1, first off, if you're going with a publisher, it's really hard to get a publisher as a first-time author if you have no audience. If you have a big audience, it's a little bit easier. But if you have no audience, I almost wouldn't even try. I mean, it's not that it's not possible, just publishing houses don't want to bring on new authors who don't have a marketing platform, because that's all they care about right now is a marketing platform. And 2, the amount of time that you spend in trying to find a publisher could be so much better used in writing your book and promoting your first book yourself. So it's understand that you probably have 18 books inside you. This is just the first one. And the best thing you can do is probably just self-publish it, get it out there, build traction, show some sales, and then for your next one, try to go with a publisher if that's still part of your ambition. Going by yourself, it is almost impossible to get into bookstores. So it's not the goal, although so few sales actually come from bookstores. It's more on you to promote it to your audience and online in different communities. That's where you're actually gonna get the bulk of your sales coming in. You make way more money self-publishing. When you publish, you don't make a lot of money. The pros of publishing is when you get an editor, and they're usually like crazy editors, which is great. Like for all of the hassles and pain and slowness, like Marian wants to get his book, he can edit it and get it up, and it's up next week. Hey, when you're the publisher, like I finished my book almost a year before it actually gets out, right? It's like, it's crazy. It just takes so long. They are not designed for speed at all. So if you're an entrepreneur, it's insanely slow. Even if they think they're going fast, this is fast compared to what we normally do. Yeah, but it's still hella slow. Like this is nothing. You want to see fast? Come into my company. Let's go, right? And so, but having a great editor is really helpful because there's still gonna be typos. And even I had a great editor with this one, and I still sent it out to 30 people, and they still found errors in it and typos. And in your own word, there's still one error in it. It's like, oh, I can't believe there's a typo in it. Like no matter how many times you read it, you just miss it, and other people miss it too. It's super annoying. Anyway, so that's one good reason. And the other reason to go with the publisher, what was the other reason to go with the publisher? Oh, foreign rights, right? So your one word has been, it's in Korean, it's in a bunch of languages. I don't know how to get my book into Korean. Like I don't know I don't even want to deal with it, right? To know who the contact is and make the outreach and what the structure should look like. Yeah, like they have people and that's their entire role. Like that's somebody's full-time job is to get distribution rights in different countries for you. Same thing with like the Audible. I mean, I guess it's more easy to figure out, but I don't know how to do Audible. But I got paid to go do both my audiobooks, and now it's an audiobook, right? So those kinds of things are nice and add up, but it really comes down to, can you even qualify to get a publishing deal? If you're a first-time author with no marketing platform, I would just spend all my efforts on building up as much energy and momentum as possible and recognize that if you want to be a successful author in 2020, being able to write a good book isn't enough. You have to learn how to be a marketer. And that's the same for any industry. Like this is where guys like Marian can help you. You want to have a success and be an expert, the knowledge alone isn't enough. You have to be a great marketer, right? If knowledge alone was enough, every university professor would be rich. They're not great marketers. and most authors aren't great marketers, and it's a skill set that you either need to learn yourself or partner up with somebody who has the skill set, because you need that now more than ever.
Sweet. Ethan asks, Facebook groups versus live streams or funnels. I guess this is just part of the question. How do you best?
Okay.
No. So that was the second part. So how do you best mobilize your service around the coronavirus on social media? And then the other part of the question was Facebook groups, live streams, or funnels. So I'm assuming you're a service provider, and I'm thinking that you provide some sort of service online. And so between these three, right, like Facebook groups, live streams, and funnels, they kind of all work. Of course, it's a different stage for all of them. So Facebook groups at first, I do believe that Facebook groups is the first thing that, right, like you don't need to pay to be in a Facebook group. So you can search for different Facebook groups within your industry, go to the post and see when people are asking questions, and you, with your expertise, you just answer it without pitching. But if your profile is optimized well enough on Facebook with like book a call link, and then you grab people to book in a call and talk to you, and on the header and in the bio it says, I help entrepreneurs with my service, whatever it is, and then you go into, let's say, 20, 30, 40 Facebook groups, and then you respond to those questions, people will check back your account. They'll see that, okay, this is who you are, and you help people with this, this, and that. And then they'll book a call to talk to you if they need your help. That's at the beginning stages. Live streams, you can use live streams, of course, for things like what Evan does, just Q&As, or you can use like on Instagram, you cannot promote the live stream. On Facebook, if you go live, then we can run an ad. So you can do a live video where you can get some traction on it, and then we can promote the live video as being an ad. And then funnels, of course, that's like kind of the highest part.
Wait, what do you mean? You can run an ad while you're doing a live?
No. So if we do a Facebook Live, let's say we do this Q&A on Facebook, once the video is done, we can write copy into the description and then promote it as an ad.
Oh, turn the live into an ad.
Into an ad, yeah.
But you can do this too. You could download this and upload it as a video, and then you got an ad.
Yeah, you can. I mean, so when you do it from Facebook, for example, it shows. Let's say I run it from my own page. It shares. Marian was live, so it doesn't even show like an ad.
Okay.
And it's promoted. It shows like, hey, it's kind of like a little trick in there that you can run. And then funnels, obviously, right? Like you can implement the funnels at any point in time. It's all up to what stage is your business in, and then just pick any of these and apply it to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the funnels one is separate from the other two. Facebook groups, again, are great. You can join for free. You can make some connections, hopefully build some awareness so people who know who you are and start building a little bit of traction. The lives just depends. If you're going to go Instagram live, do you have an audience? Because you can go live and nobody shows up. Like if we went live and nobody was here, it's like, okay, Q&A. And there's no questions, right? And so it's just a tool, but it depends on if you have an audience. So the people from the Facebook groups, if they follow you on Instagram, then maybe you start building an audience up for that, or you're hacking and getting into somebody else's Instagram live. And then funnels just feels like something totally different. Funnels is you're getting people into a sales process, and whether you're doing ads or your Instagram lives can lead to a funnel, or your Facebook groups can lead to a funnel. Like the funnels are the thing after.
Yeah, like the highest level, and you can apply it in pretty much any point in the sales process. Like if you're on an ad, you should go to a funnel. Even if you go in Facebook groups, you should have a link that goes to an application page for people to put some information, or you give something for free, or it's a free training, or if it's a webinar, it doesn't matter what it is. The funnel kind of applies, but again, I wouldn't recommend to start doing all of them at once.
Yeah, I don't really know. It depends on the business and depends on your skill set, what's going to be the best path for you. But just from a starting point, I think you really need to start getting more research, because for that question, I'm concerned you're going to waste a lot of money doing the wrong thing.
True. How do you skip plagiarism in your book since it's all collective information? So that goes straight to you because I don't know exactly.
Well, it's not. Like, I don't know if you've read Built to Serve or Your One Word, but it's most of it is me writing. And the other ones are stories or interviews we've done. So what's in Built to Serve? Built to Serve. So we have some quotes at the top, which are fine. Like if it's under a certain amount, and this is something I fought with my publisher too, like they get super stringent on what you can and can't include. But if it's under a certain amount, they can include it. So if I'm doing a quote from Martin Luther King or something at the top of the page, that's fine. That's not a big deal. It's if you're trying to do pages and pages of copy from somebody else, then you get into, is this fair use or is this not? And a publisher doesn't even want to fight those battles. So like I tried to do Oprah's letter to herself and then talk about it, which is a super clear, like fair use case. They don't want to fight it. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'll just took a couple sentences from it instead of using the whole thing. And in the first book, Your One Word, I wanted to have a speech that Steve Jobs gave, and we couldn't even find out who even owns it. Anyway, so he wouldn't let me do it. And anything that's not mine is an interview, right? So Alex and Mark are both in the book, different sections. Another guy who I met on my tour who helped me with meditation when I had my concussion is in there telling his story. And they sign a waiver to say, hey, this is my story. I'm okay with you using it. And I don't even own the rights, right? I mean, that's a downside to using publishing. I don't own the rights to the book, right? It's owned by Penguin Random House, the first one, and Savio, the second one. So they send their lawyers off, and you sign the agreements, and everybody else has to sign an agreement if you're going to be in the book.
Got it. How do you distract yourself from negative addictions?
Ooh.
So, I mean, it all depends, like what it is. Think about it as the whole negative ripple effect. Like it's not, if it's alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or whatever it is, right? It's not just hurting you. It's also hurting the people around you. It's also hurting the people that you love. And when you understand that it's not just about you, it's like you influencing so many other people around yourself. And also understand, I guess, why and how did you even start having those, right? Like what triggered that? And I guess go back and fix that reason and fix the reason why that happened and understand it more. I guess at that point, it'll be easier to kind of remove yourself from the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the distraction part of the question. The goal shouldn't be to distract yourself, because then the problem stays there. Because you're not always going to be able to live in
good point.
an environment that you can stay distracted, right? So I've been looking at, no, I need to fix this. So whatever the problem is that is you think is a really negative habit, we talked about this on the last live stream, but you have to have a strong enough why. What's your big reason for why this is important? And then not only be able to do it. This is why I have a giant bag of Doritos in my office all the time, right? Because I want to be around it. I want to show myself that I'm stronger. So building up the willpower to be able to be disciplined and chase down the thing that is difficult for you and hard, and overcoming that negativity, as opposed to just trying to distract yourself from it when it's in front of you.
Love it. Can you recommend one great you both admire about business, entrepreneurship, or self-development? I guess a book. Can you recommend one great, and it's nothing. It can be a video, it can be a product, but I guess it's a book you both admire about business, entrepreneurship, or self-development. Your one word.
Hey, now, look at that.
No, but I truly believe that it was a really great, like when I remember I didn't read it before I came to the workshop. I read it after that. And
unbelievable, this guy, Marian.
I read it on my way back, actually, on the flight back.
Okay.
When, like Alex was keep kind of pulling words out of me and then making me understand like what it is and how that works. And then I had to read the book, and I was like, damn, now I understand way better how that can actually apply to pretty much any industry, right? Like anything you do. So yeah, I truly believe that it's a great book, not just because we are on this call right now.
Mark Jager makes all of his clients read it too. It's awesome. But even better is Built to Serve coming out, guys. I mean, it's out. Built to Serve, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one you got to start reading. Yeah, otherwise, I don't read a lot of books, so I got nothing that I would necessarily recommend. Unfortunately, I read like 3 to 4 books a year, and mostly it's people who are my friends. Like Russell Brunson just sent me his book. Is that the new one? Yeah.
Yeah, the green one, Traffic Secrets.
Yeah, so he sent me that one, and he's in pre-promotion. Like, I think you can buy it, but you won't get it until May or something right now. So I have, I have the soft cover, like initial launch, and now he wants to send me the box set of
the 3 ones, the trilogy, all 3 combined, expert.com and in Traffic.
I think there's 4, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
Oh, the 4th one is a workbook. Yeah. No, you're right.
Okay. So that, and then before that, I was reading John Astraf's book, Inner Size. He's another friend of the channel. I've been on, he's been on, we've done IG Lives together, all sorts of crazy stuff. So most of the stuff I'm reading are from my friends who asked me to check it out because, they want my opinion on it, and hopefully I can give them some exposure for their message as well. Yeah, so I don't read that many books. I have way more books. I mean, Marian's got a new book coming out. I gotta check that one out, of course. Momentum. What's it called? Is it called Momentum?
Yeah.
Is it actually called Momentum?
Yeah.
I like it. That's so good, man. It's the thing people are missing the most.
It is one, now that I remember, that I wanted to because now you said Built to Serve, it's your new book. I read one. I'm ashamed now because I don't remember the author, but the book was so good. Built to Sell.
Okay.
I don't know if you read that.
No.
It's really good for people that want to build a company and build it in a way that it can be a sellable asset at the end.
Okay.
So it's a short one. I think it's only like 130, like really small one, but it's a really good one too.
Built to Sell.
Yeah, but I forget now exactly who wrote it. So let's go back to the questions. Oh wow, a lot of people join. Is a business idea that is considered anywhere, anytime successful? Well, if somebody would, I guess Amazon, right?
What was the question?
Anytime. A business idea that is considered anytime, anywhere, anytime, anywhere successful. It's like what business idea do you think that it's that happens to me before I distract yourself? Speaking, any advice for t-shirt designers?
Oh, okay. Are we skipping that one? I didn't really understand what that question was, but if we're moving on, okay.
Yeah, I moved on. Any advice for t-shirt designers?
Okay.
Yeah, t-shirt designers. I guess right now the messaging really can really make a difference, right? Like what, we stay together, or, like really have kind of the message that matches what's going on in the world now. However, it's probably going to be hard with shipping them now. So that's another thing. You can probably, now that I'm thinking, a t-shirt business, a t-shirt designer, your knowledge can be way more and way better monetized online into an online product, because now you have the
this guy. This guy.
But okay. No, but it's true, because he's a t-shirt designer. He knows how to design t-shirts. So he can also reach out to other businesses that sell t-shirts and help them with design consulting, right? He can actually do outreach to those kind of companies that have them and actually improve whatever they have going on into maybe a better design. Put together an online course for people that want to design t-shirts and then sell that. I think at this point in time, it can be a really great way to monetize your skill and knowledge.
Yeah, so I guess that's how much of a thought leader do you want to be versus being a t-shirt designer. There's definitely a model. Teaching people how to do it instead of you just doing it allows you to reach way more people and also to make way more money, because you'll be able to sell that course for more than you would a t-shirt design. So that's often a good path. But do you want to become an educator as opposed to a designer? A lot of artists don't necessarily want to become educators. So figure out for you what makes sense. Otherwise, I'd be looking at Instagram very heavily. You're in a visual medium, so it's the best place to play. I'd be looking at who are people that you like to mess with. You like their content. They have a similar message. Like, a brand is an emotion. So what's the emotion behind your brand? What's the message you want when people wear your shirts? What do you want them to feel? And then find people who have that same message, just in a different way, right? Like if you made t-shirts and made people believe, you want to be messaging me because that's what I'm all about, right? And then you connect with them and you find people that you send them it for free and they wear it, hopefully, because they love it and it's on brand for them, and you use influencer marketing to build the business.
Some tips for business teams to stay strong. I think really connecting, into either Zoom calls, Skype calls, doesn't matter what it is, and just do maybe not necessarily every day, but every 2 days, maybe staying together, use like a Slack channel to communicate between them. I guess really focusing on how they can find ways to create some internal competition, healthy one, and not trying to just pay attention to the negative stuff that's going on. Like, yeah, of course, things are happening and things are real. Nobody's kind of hiding that, but I guess it's really important to communicate during this time, because most likely they're not going to be in the office, so they're going to be online, and it's great to stay together, maybe do a little bit of a share some wins, kind of end of the day, share some win type of moments. And every time when it's some positivity in there, maybe share some jokes every once in a while. I guess that can help bring the whole energy up.
So we have a Facebook group for everybody on the team. Actually, I think you're in that. Are you in that, Marian?
Which one?
The Facebook group for the team? No? I think I asked them to add you. Maybe you're not in it yet. Anyway, we got a Facebook group for everybody on the team. And most of my team is remote, right? Like they're all over the world. And so the Facebook group helps keep people connected. And we post there, we post updates, life, what's happening. I posted recently just asking how everybody's doing with Corona. Is it impacting them? Or is something like, I know we all mostly just work from home, but if there's like, how are you guys doing? Are you struggling? Are you suffering? People aren't always, when they're in front of you, it's a lot easier to see what's going on and ask them if they need help. When they're remote and time zone differences and everything, people may not be as willing or easily to share. So we asked them. Everybody's fine. Everybody's like, some people are a little bit, not, I wouldn't say panicking, that's not even close, but just, concerned, worried, want to, make sure everything's going to be okay. So good to know where everybody's at. And then I have Nina. Nina's my wife. She's also the chief heart officer of the team. And she follows everybody on social and likes to post updates. So my main editor, Christina, just got a dog. I got the last flight. I forget where she got the dog, but she's flying. She's from Montenegro. So she got the last flight back to Montenegro before the airport closed. And she's got a new dog. So we post a picture, right? And Nina's saying, Nina's great at this. I suck at this. If Marian needs help on something, I'll be the first one to stand up and help. But like, hey, Marian, how's life? Like, is never going to happen. I don't do small talk. But people like appreciate it and need it. And most people, do kind of like it in some way. So that's where she's great at, just kind of keeping in touch with people. And then what's the final thing? Every quarter at least, I'm on a one-on-one with everybody in the team. Some people I meet once a week, some people I meet once a month, and the least amount is once a quarter. And just seeing how they're doing, if I can help, what they're up to. Do they want more hours, less hours? Are they happy with what they're working on? It's just like a touch point for me with everybody. So especially with remote teams, it's important to keep the communication high and make them feel like what they're doing matters.
Love it. Who are your top influencers you like to follow? So I'll start. Probably have a list of around 10 that I like to also, always look at what they're selling, look at, I guess for me, it's a little bit different because I always look at ways to improve my own business model, also look at different ways of what other people that I aspire to be like are doing. So, make a list of 10. My 10 are, I follow Evan, obviously. Because
hey, now, there we go. That's a good start to the list.
His YouTube channel is the level that I want to reach at some point. Then we got Russell Brunson. The way that he applies all the strategies and tactics and all that stuff, it's exactly what I'm trying to do. Frank Kern, it's also a guy that I love his messaging and the way that he approaches selling specifically. Russ Ruffino, it's another guy that not necessarily is a huge influencer on Instagram, but his business is his business.
Russ
is doing really
Ruffino?
Ruffino.
Russ Ruffino.
Ruffino, yeah.
Wow. Okay, never heard of him. He's a marketer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't put a lot of work into building his personal brand. He's more focused on his business.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard, Dean Graziosi, people that I really like to follow. Lewis House for his podcast. I also love a lot Hustle and Flowchart podcast with Joe Fear and Matt Wolf. They're two amazing guys.
Okay.
I've met them recently. They're not big on Instagram, but their podcast, they have some really awesome episodes. So yeah, those are the people that I follow.
So I'll look at different people for different things. I think if you're looking at whose content would I enjoy the most when I'm not, like I consume a lot of content for my work, right? Is what I do, making videos, all that stuff.
Do you watch your own videos? I'm curious, actually.
Yeah, I love my own videos.
Okay.
I mean, I don't watch me speaking in my videos, but I watch my videos, like the top 10 channel, the main channel, the starting from the bottom channel. If I'm watching myself, it's because I'm trying to learn either how did we edit it, what do we get better at, because I usually agree with that guy who's on camera, right? Because it's me, right?
No, but I was curious if you actually watch yourself.
Yeah, I love it. I love learning from. I mean, I make my channel for myself. I would have my channel for me, even if I couldn't make a channel of it. Like I wouldn't have the fancy editing and everything, but I would still do it because I like the personal development that comes from it. So yeah, definitely there. But apart from my own, so yeah, my channel is the #1 content that I consume. If I have extra time, what I would do beyond that, in the business world, it would be Gary and Tom in terms of content.
Oh, Gary Vee. I even forgot Gary Vee.
Wow, yeah. Gary gets the shun. Gary gets shut down there. Although he's gone way low on content now, right? He's a weekly thing now, not doing as much. But yeah, Gary stuff I enjoy a lot. Tom as well. Both the impact theory and the health theory stuff that he puts out. So those two I would consume just on my own normally, even if we weren't making a video. Brendan, Dean, Russell, especially from a business model perspective, because that's what I'm trying to figure out and get better at, and book funnels and all that stuff. And luckily, I know all of them and I can ask them for help too. So it's not just like studying from afar. I can say, hey, it's using it sparingly. So, but if I ask, Russell or Dean or Brendan or whatever to look at something, I could get their feedback on it, which is, awesome. Tony doesn't really put up a ton of YouTube stuff. And then everybody else would be mostly personal stuff, like League of Legends stuff. There's a couple of people I'll follow for that. Philip DeFranco for just kind of news and what's going on. Vox sometimes has some interesting things. New York Times has some interesting things. But not like, oh my God, I have to watch this next video that these guys put up.
What business or skill should someone with a design degree pursue while quarantined? What business or skill? So the degree is in design, but I'm assuming the skill, maybe it's not necessarily at the level that you want. I guess, you know, not necessarily to look for what business, I guess to look for if you can apply whatever you learned, assuming that you like it, while you were in school for design, now just to master, right? Like what is it within the design world? Like, is it video editing? Is it design of websites? Is it, you know, Photoshop for specific, like look at who are the industries that really have a really, you know, can have a big ROI investing in your services versus what you can deliver for them, right? Like what is it that you are good at and you actually and like doing it as well, and then really go deep into that. Like, is it website design? Is it funnel design? Is it design for I don't know, podcast covers, right? Something that can also have a recurring model, because like, yeah, I just said podcasting cover, like, you know, podcast cover, it's a one-time thing and then that's it, right? A website design, you can add more, or funnel design, you know, you can have more and more stuff done every single month. So recurring, it's a big thing. And then look exactly, you know, what are you good at, and then just double down on that.
Yeah, I would match it with something you're really excited about. So good design can uplift every industry. There's no industry that doesn't need design. So Marian listed off a whole bunch of options, which are all great, and they're also stuff that he cares about. And there's a lack of design in funnels, and there's a lack of good design in podcast covers and in websites and everything. Like, good design helps everything, right? If it looks better and helps communicate a message better, it helps make people feel. That's what design does, right? If it helps make me feel more, I'm gonna lift every industry. So every industry you can help right now. What's the one that you have a connection to, right? That's the one where you're just gonna love it more. So, you know, there's a designer that does League of Legends characters, right? Great. Like, if you are in League of Legends, you want to hire that designer over just a typical graphic designer, right? If you love listening to podcasts, you already know what a good podcast design looks like, because you probably checked out all the different podcasts. So you know what a good one looks like. If you know how to make great YouTube thumbnails, I'll hire you. I'm looking for a better designer, right? I haven't found anybody who can beat my designs on YouTube thumbnails, right? But if you don't know anything about how to design a YouTube thumbnail and you don't like YouTube, you're probably not going to get hired to any success in YouTube, right? Hey, we won! Marian, we won! It happened! Boom. All right, boom. We're on a comeback trail. We are on a comeback trail. If I win the next game, we're into silver, dude. This is a big, big deal right now. Okay, so design can lift every industry. Every single industry needs better design. Pair your design skills with what you love doing. All right.
Oh, and I just thought of something before. Your Instagram graphics, like for the last, I don't know, like the last maybe 2 months, you keep posting a lot of these cool graphics, versus you look at a lot of big influencers, they don't. If somebody would look at what you do and just, if they know how to do that, they can go and pitch the other guys doing too. Yeah,
look, you should. Here's what Evan Carmichael's doing. Do you want to do it too? I can make those cartoons, right? If you know how to be an illustrator. Okay, we're going to end this one up. We're going to start it again. Stay tuned. Bring your questions. Last one of the night. Let's go.